We've got a big finale of the regular season in the URC. Who is going to emerge and make it to the playoffs? Who's going to be on the beach licking their wounds this time next week? We're going to find out over the next day or so. And I'm not going to waste any time getting into the meat of this video because as I record this now, the games get underway in 5 hours' time. We've got a bumper 24 hours or so in the URC. If you love the URC and you want to spread the word about how good it is, well, help me do that by giving the video a thumbs up. Get stuck in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to make it? How do you see the matchups going? I've got the team sheets. I'm going to predict the results and what that would mean for the table at the end of the final round of games. That is the table going into the final round. You've got the top 4 teams, Leinster, the Bulls, Warriors and the Sharks. They know they're going to have home games. The order of the top 4 is still to be decided. As for the remaining 4 spots, well, there are 6 teams that are going for those 4 spots, and some of them are playing each other in what should be pretty spicy matchups. So these are the fixtures for the weekend. It gets underway in Cape Town, 7 p.m. kickoff local time at the Cape Town Stadium, so 6 p.m. UK and Ireland. I can't wait for that game. I mean, it's last time in that stadium for the Stormers. The crowds there have been amazing. When I was in Cape Town last year, I went to Newlands and had a look around. It's all sort of growing weeds everywhere now, gathering dust. It's a bit of like a museum. As modern stadiums go, there are a few better settings than the one they got there. And Marnie Lebock is going to be running the show for the Stormers in this game. Sasha FM from the bench, my favourite radio station. Crazy talent options. Like Leicester Tigers in the Premiership are desperately trying to find themselves a fly half to replace Andre Pollard. And they're really struggling. And the Stormers have got 3 world-class options they could put in the number 10 shirt. It's Lebock today. A big factor in how well he will play, or any of the fly halves are able to play for the Stormers, is Herschel Yankees. He just needs to get Marnie Lebock the ball cleanly, and then I'm sure they will cement their 5th place. They're up against Cardiff, a Cardiff team who absolutely have to win. Well, actually, that's not fair. They will be going into the game wanting to win. They may well need to win, but losing bonus points would give them a chance of getting through. A couple of bonus points, it could be enough, actually. So maybe Cardiff will go into the game trying to think about scoring 4 tries. And then, I mean, you're going to need to score points against the Stormers because they are really, really deadly in attack. So maybe just go... in fact, it could be a belter of a game, Falatau starts, and they kept their powder dry a little bit, did Cardiff, and kept him on the bench, brought him on for 20 minutes, and that backfired a little bit. So it's all in now. All or nothing, and I see this being a really fun match. I'm going to go for Stormers. I'm going to go for Cardiff to get a losing bonus point, so we'll see at the end of the day where that leaves them. Moving on to the game I am most excited about this weekend, Munster against Benetton, happening in Musgrave Park in Cork. So Peter O'Mahony and the other leavers, Murray and Archer, they said goodbye to Thomond Park last week. They get to say goodbye to the Munster fans in Cork on this one. Going to be another emotional evening. And more than anything, Peter O'Mahony doesn't want this to be his last game. None of the Munster team will want this to be their last game. This could well be the last game for either Munster or Benetton. Now, both teams can qualify. They're 7th and 8th, both on 46 points. If the loser gets a losing bonus point and a try bonus point, that could be enough. I mean, a draw with try bonus points for both, that'd get both teams through. Maybe they could have a little word before the game. Obviously, that's not going to happen. It's huge. Malachi Fekitoa going back to his old team. The teams they've named are stacked. Look at Munster. That pack looks meaty. Jean Klein and Tyburn in the second row. They haven't been able to play together due to Klein's injury nearly enough this year. Omani, Hodnick, Coombs on to start in the back row. Candellen and Ahern off the bench brings loads of energy. One key factor as far as the forwards goes for Munster, can Niall Scannell hit his man at the line out? The darts and the line out in general has been poor from Munster. That's going to be really, really important. They have got, I mean, Casey and Crowley, they could be the difference makers in this game. They are class, and outside them they've got a bit of punch through the midfield and some wheels on the outside, but they are up against international quality opposition in Benetton, stacked with Italian internationals, and so much so that Michele Lamaro is not even in the 23. He's not injured either. He's fit and available, but cannot make the 23 because Zuliani's been tearing it up. Negri's on the bench. Albanose is on the bench. Nicola Canoni, Fekitoa, Spaniolo, they're all on the bench. It's a serious team. But for Benetton, it feels like it's top 2 inches. Are they going to blow hot or cold? Because they are just inconsistent. They're fully loaded. This is knockout rugby. This is going to be fun. I think it's going to be close. I think maybe this game won't be loads of tries. Defences might get on top. Territorial kicking game is going to be huge. I'm going to give it just to Munster by 5 points. Another game I cannot wait for. Edinburgh against Ulster. Ulster have got nothing but pride to play for, but I tell you what, fair play to them. They've named a proper team. And I just got a feeling about this Munster match. I do. I know they're away from home. I know they've not been great. But look down that team sheet. They have got class players. Henderson just needs to pull out a performance. Timoney, Izuchukwu, McCann is a really good back row. I mean, they've got awesome players in the back line as well. Key one for Ulster that they've not really been able to nail down is the fly half position. And that's been really, really influential to how they have been fluent or not. You've got some of the next gen of Ulster players on the bench with Tom Stewart and Scott Wilson, Harry Sheridan, James McNabney. I mean, I know they've only got pride to play for, but I see them coming out firing. They're up against an Edinburgh side that have to win. It's win or bust for them. And they are missing a few players, particularly in the back line. Up front, they look pretty decent, pretty much at full strength. Interesting that Magnus Bradbury is the captain. They've been sort of sharing the captaincy. Jamie Ritchie on the bench. He was one of the co-captains with Grant Gilchrist, but they've given it to Magnus Bradbury. What can he inspire? It's going to be a proper fight, this one. Edinburgh, they not only have to win, even a win might not be enough to get them in the top 8. They have to win and maybe win well. And also with it being the last roll of the dice for Ulster, I see it being quite an open game. Probably quite fun to watch. I'm going to go close in a high-scoring game. Edinburgh just. Although I could absolutely see Ulster winning that one. I really could. It's not going to be nearly as tight in the game in Pretoria. The Bulls take on the Dragons, bottom of the table Dragons, second in the table Bulls, and the Bulls going strong with a few of their players with a point to prove, having been left out of the latest alignment camp by Rassie Erasmus. Akker van der Merwe in the pack is one of them. JF van Heerden, another. You've got Grobbelaar on the bench. But Hanekom, big rest of 2025 for him. He can show up in these big games in the playoffs coming up and then try and force his way into the starting jersey for the Boks in the back row. He'll certainly be hoping so. One thing I did mention on the video I did about the Springbok squad yesterday is that I thought Ruan Norkia could well be used in the number 7 shirt for the Boks or backing up Peter Steph Toy, and he's being used in that role for the Bulls with, you've got Marcel Coetzee, class player on the bench. You've got Kane and Moody and Villy LaRue in a back line. They're going to be fine up against the Dragons, who, do you know what? I'm going to give the Dragons a little bit of credit because they're bottom of the table. They're comfortably the poorest team in the competition, but Welsh rugby's in a bit of a poor place. Cardiff have had to be bailed out by the WRU. Dragons are living within their means. They are a sustainable club. The consequences, they're just not very good, but fair play to them for that at least. Hopefully their fortunes are better on and off the field moving forward. 5 points to 0 points for Dragons. It'll be a comfortable Bulls victory there. I'm going to jump to the Sharks against the Scarlets, which is another fun game. Scarlets in a qualifying position, can maintain that. Sharks in 4th. They can leapfrog Glasgow to 3rd, should Glasgow slip up against Leinster, and I'll come to that in a minute. And the Sharks, the option for them is they are likely to go away to the Bulls if they win, away to Leinster if they lose. I'm sure they would rather stay in South Africa and set up a big old derby at Loftus Versfeld. That will be spicy if that happens. And they've got a rest week next week, so they can go for it with their selection. Scarlets are likely to make the final 8, but again, they'd probably prefer to play a team like Glasgow they could end up playing if they win, rather than Leinster potentially if they lose. So it's going to be really interesting. As for the team, the Sharks have gone strong. Now, no Sia Khaleesi for this one. He's not injured. He is available, but he's been rested. But it's awesome to see Eben Etzebeth there. He took a knock, went off, but he's fit and available. Oxen Che is there. They've gone full bore. Lorenzo Julius, I was surprised to see him not in the Springbok alignment camp. He's got a point to prove outside Andre Esterhuizen. And Ethan Hooker did get in, and he's on the wing. That looks like a very good team. And yeah, we'll see how they go. Some really good players on the bench as well. up against Scarlets. It's the Plumtree Bowl. John Plumtree going up against his son Tane, who could spoil the party. And I tell you what I liked about the Scarlets last week. They just had a go. Via Fafita was awesome. Blair Murray was brilliant. They've got good players and they've got a little bit of mojo going in their squad. It was enough in Johannesburg. I'm not sure it's going to be enough in Durban. So I think they might get a losing bonus point. Try bonus point perhaps. But the Sharks are going to win that one. I've got it down as a Sharks win. As for Leinster against Glasgow, next week, well, Glasgow and their fans would have been, Leinster and their fans would have been expecting that next week was going to be a Champions Cup final. It's not. They've got a rest week, so there's no reason to rotate any players whatsoever. These two met in the Champions Cup, of course. It was 52-0 to Leinster. That meant nothing in the end from a Leinster perspective, and the slate is wiped clean from a Glasgow perspective, and they need to improve Glasgow because I don't know what's going on. They feel like they've just imploded. Franco Smith, I did speculate on a video recently, is he off somewhere else at the end of the season and it just hasn't been announced? Because I'm trying to get my head around how and why Glasgow have imploded so badly. Yes, they're without some key players, or they have been without key players. They've got some big ones returning. I'll get onto the team sheet in a minute. But it's hard to explain why a team that have always just looked from the outside like they have such a good spirit going on, such togetherness. It's hard to explain why their performances have fallen off a cliff. As for the actual selections, Leinster have gone strong. I mean, they've got some class. I mean, look at Ronan Kelleher, Tyg Furlong, a couple of British and Irish Lions on the bench. That's how good, that's how stacked the options are. Jack Conan is the captain without Caelan Doris there. And Finton Gunn getting a run out at scrum half for Jameson Gibson Park. Be interesting to see how he goes. And I'll tell you what, it'll be Paul O'Connell watching that one with an eye on Ireland's summer tour. They look strong. They look too strong, don't they? Whoever Glasgow put out when they're at home. What are Glasgow putting out? Well, the big positive news is Hugh Ipolotu is back. Sione Tuipulotu and Hugh Jones, both picked for the Lions, both back fit and playing. Here's hoping they come through tonight this weekend okay, and for Glasgow's point of view, that they can inspire a turnaround in performance. The back line looks as strong as you can get when you've got Stafford McDowell, George Horn and Tom Jordan on the bench. The forwards, it feels like there's been a bit of deliberate rotation there. You've got players that you would expect to be starting, like JP Dupree, like Scott Cummings, who have been put on the bench, and some guys that are lower down the pecking order being given a start. Unfortunately, that doesn't match up very well. Or are they keeping those guys in reserve, keeping their powder dry to try and combat Leinster later in the game? Perhaps. I just see this going only one way, a comfortable Leinster win. As for Lions against Ospreys, this has got a bit of an end-of-season tour feel because Ospreys are going there with nothing else to play for, but just, both teams have got nothing to play for except just a bit of pride. The Lions trying to put on a show for their home fans. The Ospreys trying to have a good time together. This time of year, players leave. So this is the last time this group of players will be together. They want to make good memories. So I'm sure that's the sort of thing the Lions and Ospreys are talking about. As for the Lions, one of the guys in the Springbok alignment camp, the hooker, Renzo Duplessis in the back row, and Klabakanye's got in there as well. Edwil van der Merwe got in. Henko van Wyk didn't, and he will have a point to prove. Kuan Horn got in too. And they let themselves down a little bit last time out against Scarlets. I thought they had the game just about there to win, and then and that's the problem with Lions. They started so strong. Last week's game against the Scarlets is a perfect example of how the Lions season has gone. They started well, and then just kind of nosedived. And they do that across the season, and they've done that within games. So they'll want to finish strong up against Ospreys, who have not picked Jack Morgan. They've let him rest up in Wales ahead of the British and Irish Lions. They're one representative, but they have got Dewi Lake there. They have got really good players. I think this could be a fun game. I think both teams, the way Lions play, they go for attack, and I think Ospreys with nothing to play for except just trying to cement their position in the table. I think it could be a fun match to watch. I doubt many people will watch it because there's other games going on that have got more consequence. I'm going to go for a Lions victory. And then Zebre against Connacht. As it as it stands right now, Zebre haven't actually announced their team, published their team sheet. So, I mean, that says a bit about... Oh, Zebre have had their best season in the URC. And if they win, Zebre cannot overtake Connacht. But they can get more wins in the season than Connacht. Connacht are on 7 wins. Zebre are on 7 wins. If Zebre were to win, they would be behind them in the table, but ahead of them on victories, that would be something. And it would mean Zebre finish what has been a good season for them really, really strong. The 15 bonus points that Connacht have got tells you quite a lot about how they've been close in a lot of games, but not got it across the line. And I think that speaks to the mentality of the players. Maybe they don't have quite enough top-level players, and they've pulled Mac Hansen and Bundyaki out of the lineup. They do have Finlay Bealham in there. So the British and Irish Lions not there. Some of the Ireland players there, Kean Prendergast will want to be going on that summer tour. Ben Murphy's got potential at scrum half to go on the summer tour. So, yeah, I don't know. Zebre haven't named their team, so I'm not even going to speculate on a victory. And as it happens, it doesn't matter for the playoff spots. So based on the predictions that I've given, that is what the final table is going to look like if the results go that way. I could see Edinburgh actually losing that game to Ulster, and they might drop out. Benetton could pull off a win in Munster, and then Munster are in trouble, and Benetton would qualify. Losing bonus points could be absolutely massive. It's going to be fun to watch. The picture's going to change all of the time, but that could be the quarterfinals, and if it is, that would be fun. That would be fun. Glasgow hosting the Stormers, repeat of last year. Munster going to the Sharks. That would be interesting. That would be the pick of the round, I think. Leinster Scarlets, Bulls Edinburgh, less jeopardy on the line. But anyway, that's only a speculation at this point. We'll find out in a matter of hours what's actually going to happen. Thank you for watching. Spread the word by giving the video a thumbs up, by telling your mates, leaving a comment, hitting subscribe, and enjoy the rugby over the weekend. And I will keep checking back in on the channel for reaction to the matches as they unfold.